Hello everyone, my name is Ziamaro and welcome to Battlerite Sage. We're back again with some Battlerite analysis. Before we get started, if you entered the competition, I'm announcing the winners at the end of the video, so stick around for that. Today's replay comes from Vasula. He's still pretty new to the game and wrote in saying that he feels like something is off with his game. He also says he may be becoming a Thorn main and not to hate him. I can't speak for everyone else because I know there are some Thorn haters out there, but personally I love playing with Thorn players and I don't really mind playing against Thorn either, so just stick with it if you like it. I only actually noticed this after already writing the notes for this video, but this is a casual match. So Vasula, if you're watching, my first piece of advice would be to go play some ranked games. The matchmaking is a lot better than it is in casual and you'll improve a lot faster that way. Vasula is still new to the game and this channel is all about helping people at any level. So feel free to pitch in with some advice, but just remember to keep it constructive. I'm not going to go through every single round here, but there are a few things I'd like to focus on. First of all, we'll take a look at ability combos. I'm not a Thorn player per se, but I certainly know what Thorn players like to do to myself and my team. So let's start out with round number 1. So the very first thing I'll say is you go straight in with the Q. You do actually hit the Alicia, but the general thing I see Thorns do is they'll usually try and land an E first, so that way you can't actually use an escape to get away from it. So you land your E, and then you pull them in. Quite often they might poke with their right click first, but it's kind of up to you. Unfortunately, the Jade ends up dying here incredibly fast. But as you'll see, Vasula and the healer actually end up clutching this round. So you do a good ultimate here, but this is actually something I'll focus on in another round. Just be a bit careful about your ultimate usage. This particular one was good, but later on you are a little bit trigger happy with your ultimate usage. So you don't necessarily have to use all of your abilities in a certain order all the time, but it's useful to know some combos, because every character has them. And for Thorn, his E into Q is a pretty potent combo. So you manage to take out the enemy Sirius, and then you dodge this chill pretty well. You would have been frozen there otherwise, so that was good. But just be a little bit aware of using abilities randomly like that. Like your Q, you didn't need to use it there. If you'd saved it, you could have landed your E here like you do, and then pulled this guy in and maybe saved your Sirius, I'm not sure. So now we're in a 1v1, and spoiler alert, Vasula actually ends up winning this one, which is good. But there's still a few things that I'd like to point out. So first of all, this ultimate was probably not the best idea. You didn't even get the orb, so you've got to be super careful in a 1v1 not blowing all your energy like that. A big part of Thorn's survivability is his husk, so you want a bit of energy to be able to use that. You didn't actually get punished for it though. In this particular bit here, I would have waited for my E to come off cooldown first, landed that on him, and then pulled him in with the Q. So again, just be aware of those ability combos. Right now, there doesn't seem to be a lot of method to the way that you're using your cooldowns. I would definitely recommend putting a little bit more value on hitting each of your abilities. Like, don't just throw them out hoping something will hit. Using the space here to avoid some of the ultimate was a good idea. If you'd hit him, that would have been better, but it's okay. Be a little bit careful of the death vortex there. You pull the guy in, that actually worked. And then you snipe the orb, I think. Yes, you do. And here, I would not have used my ultimate again. It was... I'm not sure it was the best idea, to be honest with you. Energy in a 1v1 is super important, and you don't want to blow it all in one. So just be a little bit careful of that. In any case, you went into this 1v1 at a massive disadvantage, and you still came out on top, so really well done. Moving into round 2, let's look at a quick iframe here that you could have used. Again, you kind of waste your Q there. And here, you could have used your space to get out of that freeze. But then you end up in a very long CC combo and taking a bit of burst, which is unfortunate. But here you actually entangle the Rukan and then pull him in. It wasn't a perfect combo, but you actually pulled it off this time. Right here you actually peel really well for your Sirius, and then you put your husk on him, which was a great play. Something else to work on is watching out for key abilities that your opponents use. For example, the Sirius used his counter there and didn't actually hit it. With Sirius, that's one of his abilities that you want to watch out for, and once it's on cooldown, it's a good idea to focus him. Alicia is also quite an easy target to focus in this matchup. Once her space is down, she can be a little bit vulnerable too. I'll actually skip over the rest of this round and we'll show you a few examples. So I've skipped over to round 3 because there's an opportunity here that comes up to focus the Alicia that you almost did, but you didn't actually fully commit to it. So right here, you'll see the Alicia comes in a second. And she actually uses her space to avoid your Q. And you use your space, but then you kind of decide not to go for her. But she was incredibly vulnerable at that point, so she would have been a very good target to go for. And that's actually good advice even for higher ranked players. Like, I know that in Platinum, probably one of the biggest differences between Platinum and Diamond is that Diamonds almost always see when someone blows a cooldown and they'll usually focus them. But in Platinum, people don't always do it. So if you're sitting in Platinum looking for a little boost into Diamond, that may be something to work on if you haven't already. As I've been focusing on these ability combos, let's show you an example of a really good combo that you pull off here. And what a big difference it makes as well. So you land your E onto the Rukan here, which was really good. And then your Q is so easy to land. Your team didn't manage to get too much damage into him, but it did force an iframe out of him. So it was a great engagement. So try and pull that sort of stuff off a little bit more often, rather than just throwing your Q out randomly. So yeah, Vasula. Things to work on. Try and get those ability combos going. Land your E, and then pull them in with your Q. You won't always get massive damage and value out of it, but it's a big part of how Thorn initiates a fight. Especially in 3v3, if you manage to bait out an iframe from the enemy, that gives your team a little more room to do some stuff. And in a sense, that's actually part of what a melee's job is. You bait out all the iframes from the enemy, that forces the enemy to play a little bit more defensively, so that gives your healer and your ranged DPS a bit more space. Plus, if they have a snipe available, then they can land that on the enemy and know that they can't dodge it. As for your energy management, try not to be quite so trigger happy with your ultimates. It's a mistake you see a lot of new players making. Ultimates are pretty powerful, but if you can't get guaranteed value out of them, you're better off using some EX abilities. So learn what they do, and in a lot of situations, you may be better off using them than your ultimate. If you're watching this and you're a good Thorn player, maybe you have some extra advice, so please feel free to chip in. And now it's time to announce the giveaway winners. I was genuinely shocked by the amount of people that entered. We had over 1,500 people enter the competition, and in total more than 5,000 entries. But unfortunately, we only have 5 Thunder Serpents to give away. If you didn't get one this time, don't worry, there's a good chance I'll get some more in the future, so you'll get another chance. So, the winners are Alpha1 from YouTube, Renan Quello from YouTube, Sugar Sweet from YouTube, Yamikari on Twitch, and Henkit on Twitch. All of you should have a key sitting in your inbox, so just make sure to check that. And thanks so much to everybody who took part. I actually got sent 10 keys this time. The first 5 I gave away live on Twitch, and then the other 5 I've done in this competition. Next time, I'm going to be giving the first 5 away to the most active commenters on Twitch and YouTube. So keep commenting, because I do keep track of it. Thanks so much to everybody for all your support. Maybe I'll catch you in some games tonight, but until next time, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.